Hello, my friends. Welcome back to Caprine Cottage. My name is Anne, and we're in my studio space today. And this week, I had hoped, I was thinking of just filming kind of like a cozy knit and chat. And I think that's sort of what this is going to be. I made myself a cup of tea. It's quite hot, but it's right here. I lit a candle, and it was super gloomy and rainy all day today. It's been really cold in the house. We had a frost 2 nights ago, not last night, but 2 nights ago. And I've just been super cold. All I've wanted to do is be cozy, but of course, I've waited all day to film this because I have a bunch of other things going on. And it's now beautifully sunny outside. So maybe the cozy vibes aren't as cozy, but I think we can still have cozy vibes. I forget who it was, but I saw someone on Instagram made a video that was like, spring is the same as autumn, but with a different color scheme, and that you can still do all of the cozy activities in the spring that you would do in the fall. So I'm here for that. I feel like lately, all I can think about is fall and Halloween, which makes no sense because it's just becoming spring. But it's kind of always autumn in my mind. But what's really exciting about this video is that I have an announcement for you. And we have all been waiting so long for this, and I am so excited to tell you about it. So my next knit along is coming soon, and I'm about to share all of the details with you. So the dates are going to be, start date will be Sunday, May 31st, and over on Patreon, I will either do a live stream or a Zoom call. I am probably going to lean towards a Zoom, but you will have to be over on my Patreon as a free member to get access to the, whatever you call it, the link, so that you can join the Zoom. But that will be on May 31st. It's a Sunday, and I'm guessing it will be mid-afternoon my time. I'll put up a poll and see what everybody thinks, but for me, it would probably be best if we do it around 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that would, might have to be earlier because I'm trying to think of all the time zones. People on the West Coast, you will be fine, but if we're thinking about the UK and Europe, that puts it pretty late. That puts it like getting late. So it might have to be earlier. Maybe it'll be more like 1 p.m. Eastern Time, but we'll figure it out. I'll put a poll in, either up on the community tab here or on Patreon so that you guys can vote and decide what time is best, and we'll just kind of find a medium in there. But the part you're all waiting for is to know what the pattern is and what my plans are. So the pattern is going to be the Forest Keys Vest by Tetsi Lutzak. And you guys know I love her. I love her patterns, her channel. I'm knitting Dravo right now. And this all kind of came to be as a collaborative effort. So I was chatting with Eva from the Scottish Yarn Festival. And if you guys don't know Eva or you don't know the Scottish Yarn Festival, I highly recommend you check them out. She's done great things, and she's created this yarn, this line of yarn, and it's 100% Scottish derived wool. Like the wool is all grown in Scotland. It's beautiful yarn. It's the yarn that I used to make my Audrey and Unst vest. It's like a red color, and that I think is the color Duncan. But I was talking with Eva, and we were talking about maybe doing some kind of knit along or something like that together. And so that's how this was born. We were just chatting, and I got inspired, and like I said, I love her yarn so much, and I was interested in finding another opportunity to use it. And we had started planning this, it was probably, I could look, but I'm guessing it was January. It was after the holidays, and I don't know if anyone else feels this way, but that time of year for me, like late January into February, is just so depressing. Like it's so hard to have hope and be optimistic and remember that spring will come. And so I had this idea of creating a knit along that could be something we do together all summer and that focuses on the beauty of nature. I'm not going to share too much more about it, but I will again reiterate, it will all be on Patreon. Everyone can attend, it will be free, but that will be where I'm going to be focusing most things. Of course, I'll be talking about it on my podcast and on this channel as well. But if you want to have a place where there's going to be a group chat where everybody can talk together, or you want to see little updates that I have of my project, that's where you're going to want to go. I think that it's the easiest to have a central location in that way because I just don't make videos frequently enough for it to really work on here. I noticed that the last time with the knit along, and it was sort of hard for people to get in touch with each other. And then the way that Instagram works now, you can't really use the hashtags in the way that we used to. I don't even know if I will create a hashtag for this knit along because it's sort of not the most helpful anymore. And so I just think it's a really good idea to have a central location. I may also create a Ravelry group, but I am not the most familiar with that. So we'll see how it goes. If I do, of course, I will link it for you. The other part of this is, so it's been a whole collaborative effort. There's like multiple parties involved. Obviously there's me, there's Eva from the Scottish Yarn Festival, there's the Woolly Thistle because they are one of the few stockists that stocks the Scottish Yarn Festival yarns in the United States, and obviously I'm an affiliate of theirs, so I wanted to involve them in this. And also, of course, Teti, the designer. So there's a lot of different moving pieces there, but the most exciting thing I have to share is that the Woolly Thistle has put together, and they're live now, well, they should be live now, they're live today, Friday, whatever day this goes live, Friday, it's gonna be the 15th, they're live. There will be kits for this project, and I think it's going to be in the colors that I have chosen. I'm not 100% sure, but there were two colorways that I was like imagining or thinking about or looking at, and I will tell you the colors I went with, and then I will tell you my second. I think I have three really. Like I'll tell you all the colorways that I think would be really beautiful. Honestly, any of Eva's colors, I think they all go together so well. Like she has a small palette of colors, but they are all so complementary that I really think you could pick anything. You're gonna see that the colors I've picked are definitely more warm toned. And so if you're a cool toned kind of person, there's lots of blues and grays that you could choose from that I think would also be equally beautiful. But I'm gonna look on my phone so that I remember the names of the colors because I always get them mixed. I will also make sure I'll put color swatches up, like photos of the color swatches up, because I don't have the yarn available. Like the yarn is not in my hands yet. I have made my order for what I am going to use for my project. I saw that the Scottish Yarn Festival was restocked this morning, and so I instantly went and bought the colors that I wanted. I knew that kits were coming, but I just wanted to make sure I got the colors I wanted. And then when the yarn comes, I will post on Patreon like a little picture so you can see what colors I'm working with. And I know that this is maybe a little bit short notice to get your supplies, but you still have 2 weeks to get your supplies. And I think that that's doable. Most places can ship in that amount of time. I know the Woolly Thistle will ship. I feel like I get all of my stuff from them in less than a week whenever I order. So I think that obviously if you live somewhere else or like somewhere where mail comes to you slowly, that might be different. But I would say generally, especially if you're in the Northeast, I think it will come very quickly. But the colors I picked are, for the main color, I chose Baird, which is a kind of, it's like a peachy neutral, I think is the best way to describe it. I don't really know how else to describe it. You'll see from the picture and you can kind of make your own idea. I think of it as kind of a peachy, it's like a warmer neutral. It's almost fawn colored, but not quite. And then for my contrasting color, I have chosen Wallace. That is my contrasting color, which is like a plum burgundy. I just think it's gonna be so beautiful. Another color combination that I was considering was using Innis, which is the natural, very pale, like creamy white gray color. And then with Duncan as the contrast, I think that would be like so traditional kind of like Ukrainian white with red embroidery on it. And this whole project kind of gives me Vyshyvanka vibes a little bit. So I think a cream with that bright red would be really beautiful. Another color combination that I think would be really beautiful would be Fraser as the main color and then Wallace again as the contrasting color. That's like a peachy color, though Fraser is like, yeah, it's like very peachy orangey color, and then the Wallace again is that plum burgundy. But again, if you're more of a cool tones kind of girl or guy, I feel like Tate with Anderson would be beautiful, or with Gordon. So there's so many options that you can choose from. And obviously you're welcome to use, like, to be part of the knit along, you're welcome to use any yarn that you would like. We just have put together these kits, and that's what I will be using in case you're interested. And especially if you, like me, love Scotland and want to support their wool industry, I think this is a beautiful way to do that, while also supporting really three women-owned businesses, because you would be supporting, well, four really, because you'd be supporting me, of course, you'd be supporting the Woolly Thistle, which is women-owned, you'd be supporting the Scottish Yarn Festival, which is Eva, also women-owned, and of course Teti as the designer. So I think it's a really beautiful way for all of us to collaborate. And yeah, I don't know, I really hope that I've shared everything. Did I share the end date? The end date is going to be, I think I'm aiming for August 31st. And of course, maybe I will extend it, but I think our final call will be on the 30th. The Woolly Thistle is also hosting their Teas and Tanks knit along, and that starts on the 28th, and you are allowed to double dip. So if you buy your kit from the Woolly Thistle for my knit along, you can also participate in their knit along and be eligible for prizes. Oh yeah, that's the part I didn't share at all. I wanted to make sure to share all the pattern and the yarn information because I'm so excited about the kits. Like, I'm so grateful to the Woolly Thistle for supporting me in this way. So I wanted to make sure you guys knew about that. But the part I didn't share is that this is going to be not just a knit along. Part of what got me all inspired about this was I was going through Teti's backlog of videos, and I have always loved this pattern, but I didn't really know kind of the history behind it or like what inspired her to design it. And there is a business that I think someone can correct me because I'm pretty sure some of you own the necklaces, but to my knowledge, this business is no longer operating, but they make beautiful ceramic necklaces. I will make sure they are linked. It's just called Forest Keys, but I'm not totally sure. They make beautiful, beautiful ceramic necklaces, and they're all one of a kind, or mostly one of a kind, and they're designed to be your own key to the forest. And that concept inspired Teti to design this pattern where then you can have your key in the motif of the sweater, which then inspired me this concept of forest keys or keys to the forest. And so together, I really wanted this to be like a collaborative sort of endeavor where we can all try to create something beautiful while also connecting with natural spaces in our own vicinities. And I have prompts made up. There will be some journaling we can do while also searching for our own key to the forest. And maybe that will be something you find. Maybe that will be something you create. But as we go on, I will share more details about that. Obviously, I don't want to give it all away now, but each month, yeah, we'll see how it breaks out. Because I've kind of lost a month now because this late start date, but we'll figure it out. There will be, I'll make sure you know the dates, but there will be increments of when we'll have like 3 or 4 calls and we can all talk about what we found and what we're learning about the spaces around us and how we can support them and interact with them. So yeah, not only is this about knitting, it's about getting outside, spending time outdoors this summer, and interacting with your own natural spaces. So I think I've covered everything. I'm realizing I really should have made notes, but I never do. And when I do, I don't follow them anyway. So that's why I've kind of stopped making notes because I don't read them. when I'm filming anyway. But I do have another little thing to talk about, to show you about. And so I filmed a bit yesterday. So I think I'm going to insert that footage right here, and you can hear me talk about it. And then I'll come back and show you what else I've discovered about this process. Hi. So I thought I would just maybe include you guys in my potentially crazy thought process. It's about the peach shawl. So I've been working on this sort of casually on and off for however long. And it's been fun. It's been fine. And I've been enjoying it. Like, it's just boring kind of. But as I've been working on it, I'm sort of just feeling like maybe I don't want the finished product. And it's not to say that there's anything wrong with it. So this is how much I have. It's actually like quite pretty. But the more I like look at it, and the more I look at sample photos of like ones other people have made, I just sort of feel like it's kind of plain, I guess. And the truth is, I started this just because I really wanted to make like a rustic-y, lighter weight feeling shawl. Like, you can see the one, you can barely see it, it's right there. But it's the Wildwood shawl from Melody Hoffman, and I made that with 2 strands of Plotelope, and so it's like really thick and fluffy. But I want like a lighter weight but still rustic shawl, so that's why I'm using the Einband. But yeah, I'm just like a little bored with this. I don't know. And then Tanya Barley, who you guys know I love. Sorry, this chair is a bit creaky, but she posted a video or a photo, something the other day, of her wearing her Inishmurray shawl. And I just love that pattern from her. And I've really been wanting to make it, but it's for, I mean, I think you can kind of adapt it to any gauge, but it's written for fingering weight. And I have all of this lace weight. And for some reason, only recently did I come to like the realization that you can hold any yarn multi-stranded. I don't know what I'm saying, because obviously I know, like, I literally just said about holding the Plotelope double, or obviously I have held Plotelope with mohair or any other thing with mohair. But I, for some reason, just, I don't know, it's like my brain couldn't handle it. Like, I was struggling so hard to find DK weight sock yarn, not even thinking I could just hold regular sock yarn double. I don't know why my brain like couldn't get on board with that. And so then I just had the realization that I have all of this Einband. I think I have, let's see, 4 balls of this color, which is what I was going to use for the peach. And like, obviously the project is attached to it. Then I have 5 balls of this brown, which looks the same, but it is a slightly different brown. This is a little bit darker. It's a little bit warmer than what I was using. And I have 1 ball of this cream color. I think if I hold it double, I'm going to do a gauge, like a test swatch, but I think held double, it will be, I can make Inishmurray with it. I just think I'm going to be so much happier in the long run making the other project. Now, I do worry that I'm going to need more yarn, because I think I might need 1 more ball of this color, of a lighter color, which is doable. This is not expensive. I could buy it. But I was thinking I could do like the main part, like the top part in this brown, I was going to make the peach shawl in, and then I have the 5 balls of this other brown, and that could be the like leaf section and the bottom section. So yeah, I don't know. It seems kind of insane maybe to rip out all of this, but I sort of haven't been like, I've just been knitting on it when I need something to do with my hands. So it's not like I'm super committed. And it's like, now that I'm looking at it, it's not that big. It's not that much knitting. So yeah, I think that's part of what I'm gonna do today. I was thinking of having like a little swatching cast on party with myself, because I would like to cast on my rucksack socks maybe tonight or today. I need to take Feeny for a walk, but I'm waiting for Caleb to get back so I can talk to him before I go. So yeah, I was thinking maybe I would undo this. Does that seem so crazy? I can't decide if I want to unpick this and then swatch, or if I should just swatch and then make a decision. But I feel like if I swatch and it's not the right gauge, then I'm gonna want to just keep working on this. And I just think ultimately I'm not gonna be happy with this. It's just kind of plain. Like, it feels like a shawl is so much knitting in general. Like, I personally find that shawls are as much or more knitting than even sometimes a sweater. It just feels like such a big commitment to be like, I don't know, I'm just not obsessed. Like, I want everything I make, I want to be in love with it. And this feels sort of like, it's nice, it's fine, but I don't know if I love it. And I think I'm gonna like the shape of this better. This is like a true triangle shawl, where this one is kind of like a V shape. And I don't know, I just feel like this pattern, it's easy to make it bigger. Like, it's a really simple pattern, but I feel like it's written for a much smaller body than the body I have, which is no shade to the designer. Like, it is really easy to make it bigger. I just am maybe a little, I'm just not in love, I guess. And it's very hard for me to like quit, make decisions like that. But I just feel like it's kind of the right call. I think I'm gonna wind one of these that I haven't opened yet into a center pull ball and swatch. I think I'm not gonna unpick it yet. Like, I'm not gonna frog this whole thing before I swatch. I don't know if that's the right choice. But also, like, I really want, I want a lightweight, large triangle shawl. And I feel like this is not that. I feel like I just chose this because this pattern is written for Einband, and I wasn't thinking how I could hold it double to achieve fingering weight. Because I knew I love my Icelandic wool shawl, and I knew I wanted another Icelandic wool shawl, but I wanted it to be not as heavy. And I had this yarn. So, okay, all right, I think I made some decisions through talking this out with you. The fact that I just bought and printed this pattern, I think, shows where I'm at. But, yeah, I don't know. Hello, it's the next day, and I just want to give you a quick update. I'm actually going to film this will be included in a full-length video that I'm going to film in just a bit, but I wanted to show you my swatch. So this is the swatch I did for Inishmurray. I will learn how to say that. And I think my gauge is a little bit off. So I did this yesterday and blocked it, and I made another swatch late last night, and so that's soaking right now. But I do think, yeah, it's just not, it's like a little bit small. So I think my next one is going to be perfect. But also, I'm always so blown away by how nice, or like, not nice, I mean, it's nice to start with, but how soft the Einband becomes and how drapey once it has been washed and blocked. I don't know enough about their processes to like really comment, but it feels like maybe it has a lot of spinning oil on it, or I don't know. There's something about it where I feel like it's very coarse when you're working with it, but then yeah, after washing and blocking, it becomes like, it's quite drapey in my opinion. But yeah, I think it's so pretty. I love this lace pattern. I like can't wait to make this. But I took the cable and the needle off of this. So I'm gonna frog this right now and wind that ball of yarn. And yeah, I don't know, I'm kind of excited about this whole process. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed seeing my thought process a little bit, and me deciding that maybe this project I was working on just wasn't really what I wanted it to be. And I hope that there could be a sense of camaraderie for you in that. Not everything is a win, but also not everything that isn't a win, it's not a loss necessarily. And I am so happy that I was able to come to this realization that I could make this yarn that I've been wanting to make into a shawl work for a pattern that I desperately have been wanting to make. So I did, let's see, I did block my second swatch that I made, and I feel like it didn't really get dry all the way, so you can't really tell a big difference, but this is the original one that you would have seen in the last clip, and then this is my second one, which, wow, it's the same color as me. It's very hard to see. Here, let's see if you can see it like that. Ah, there you go. But I knit this littler one on size US 7, and this bigger one was knit on size US 6, which is what the designer, Tanya, suggested. And I think I'm going to go with size 7, even though, to be honest, there's not a big difference. I almost want to try swatching with a US 8, but I don't really want to do that. It's the truth. I just kind of don't want to. I don't know. I'm really torn. I was so ready for me to just be like, I'm doing it on the US 7. They actually feel surprisingly similar. There's not that much difference. I felt like there was going to be a huge difference before I blocked this, and the truth is they're pretty close. So I don't know what to do. I was so excited in this video to just be like, I've made my decision. I'm definitely going to go with the 7, I think. I really don't want to swatch again, and just hopefully it will be enough. But I have my yarn here in this basket. I think I showed it to you guys already, but they're all ready to go. And then, of course, because this morning I made my order to the Woolly Thistle for my knit along yarn, I did end up getting 2 more balls of this color, the contrasting color, just so I had a little bit more comfort room there. And I was putting in an order anyway, so if you already have free shipping, why not? And then what else? Oh yeah, so on the theme of finding your key to the forest and spending more time outdoors and sort of the mysteries of the forest, I wanted to share a book I just started reading. And I think I shared this, I don't know, at some point. I think I got it in September. But someone recently commented saying that they read this last year and that they loved it. Maybe they saw it on my book cart. But that is Hazelthorn. This is by, I think, C.G. Drews. And I'm pretty sure this is YA, so keep that in mind. I started it yesterday and I'm already like a third done. I'm really enjoying it. It is definitely horror. It's dark. There's a lot of dark themes. So if you don't like that, maybe not. But I think that it would be a great way to like get your mind going for the knit along, because there's so much talk about plants and sort of the spookiness of nature. So yeah, I just thought I would share that. Like I said, I'm only a third through though. So if you read this and it's too scary and something scary happens in the second half of the book, I hold no responsibility, because it feels like something scary might happen, but I'm not there yet. I also just think the cover art is so beautiful and scary. And then there's like this scary mansion on the back. So yeah, this is like the vibes I'm going for my forest key kind of ideas, like spooky, overgrown, like real fairy tale, fae, morally ambiguous, the neutrality of nature kind of ideas. So I just thought I would bring that up because it was an accident. I just chose it off my book cart as my next read, and then I was like, oh, I feel like this fits so good with the knit along. But then I thought I might just work on Dravo a little bit. Oh, I want to show you one more thing, which is not super exciting, but then I thought I might just work on Dravo and kind of just chat for a few more minutes about random stuff, I guess. But I did cast on, this is, like I said, not very exciting, but my rucksack sock. I cast it on last night and I'm really excited. So little progresses are being made. I had actually planned a completely different video for this week, but then I haven't really been working on the thing. It was going to be kind of like a vlog / Caprine craft, but then I haven't really been doing the craft. And then I found out that the yarn had arrived, so we had to pivot a little bit. I have made huge strides on Dravo. Oh dear. It's still a chaotic mess. No one is surprised. But I thought I would show it to you because it is fully sweater shaped now, which I think is super exciting. So here it is. Looks so big when I hold it like this, but when you see it next to me, it's not so big. So this sleeve, I have pretty much finished, except for the ribbing, and there is 6 inches of ribbing. I know, it sounds insane. But I got to a point where now I have it on shorties, and because I made so many, well, 2 pairs, I'm planning a 3rd, of the snowshoe socks, I did buy a size US 4 in the 9-inch shorties, and I'm so pleased that it uses a US 4 for the sleeves of this pattern, because then I got it on shorties and I can do both sleeves at the same time, because I do have, I don't know, I want to say this is a 12 or a 15-inch cable for my interchangeables. So I can, when the sleeve is big, I can always work on it with my regular needles. So here's the 2nd sleeve. And so I was thinking I could just do a little knitting and hang out with you guys. I hope that you're as excited as me about the knit along. I hope that I don't know, like communicated it well enough. I will also make sure there's going to be a graphic that will have hopefully all the information on it, as long as I don't forget anything. And yeah, it's just exciting to me. I really like the idea of us going into the woods and sharing our experiences. And it doesn't have to be the woods. That's something that we'll talk more about as we get started, is that any natural space can be your forest. It can be, maybe you live in a city, it can be your neighborhood park. It could just be, if you have a little yard, it could just be your yard. But I think if there's one thing I've learned over the years, it's how much being outside really helps me. And I think that it's really easy to lose sight of those sort of simple things in our lives. Okay, sorry, whenever I say I'm gonna knit and chat, I never knit, but I am now just knitting in the round, so hopefully I won't make any mistakes. This has been so fun, this project, because I've been using my mushroom stitch markers on this project. Generally, I only use them on, I would say, like DK weight or higher projects, because they have pretty big rings on them and they like flop around, so I don't really use them when I like make socks or other fingering weight projects. But yeah, it's been fun because I love to see the little mushrooms when I get to the end of the round. It makes me, I don't know, it's like maybe something silly, but I've kind of discovered that I really enjoy having like cute knitting accessories, and how happy it, though, like it's such a silly, like simple little thing, but having like cute little stitch markers or stitch stoppers or pretty project bags, how happy something like that can make me, because it just feels like it's like my special little thing, and it's all my favorite stuff. But anyway, I was talking about kind of outdoorsy stuff, and how I think, especially with the way our culture has changed and is moving, it being outdoors and being reminded of nature and what the world really truly is one of the most important things that we can do. And you know, it's a privilege to be able to do that, but I also think that it is accessible to everyone if you are willing to maybe adapt your expectations. Because I think so many times we think, oh, well, if I don't live somewhere where I have access to nature easily, I have to go on vacation, or I have to maybe drive somewhere far to go to like a big park. But the truth is that you can find nature everywhere, and you can appreciate it for its resilience anywhere. And sometimes I think even more so in more populated areas. That's just kind of a little bit of inspiration about, yeah, kind of things that I was thinking about when I started planning this knit along. It was so funny. I felt like after I finished the last knit along, I was like, I'm never doing this again. This was stressful to me. But then when I started thinking about it more and thinking about the importance of creating community and how, for me, finding community through putting myself out there, how that has like genuinely changed my life, like affected my life pretty drastically, that I thought what better than to try and foster as much community building as possible, especially because I think I've mentioned it before and I think a lot of you really relate, but I feel like many people that are interested in the kind of things that we are interested in are more introverted, and it's hard to meet people, especially in person. It's hard to go out and meet people. And it's really hard to find people that like to do or talk about the same things that you like to. And that's something I've struggled with pretty much my whole life. And so that's why I think, I have so much gratitude to all of you that you come and you watch my silly videos and that you relate to the things I say. And then we get to be friends. I feel like I've made so many friends just through this, like through sharing my experience and my creative process. And I would like to be able to bring us all together even more and be able to maybe help facilitate us appreciating the natural world together and separately. So the other thing I was going to talk about, I think, now I can't remember, like, now the Patreon, that's one thing about the Patreon that I find so confusing, is that I forget what's been Patreon, like I've talked about there or talked about here, or right now, like I have a vlog that's half done that you guys haven't seen. And so I'm trying to remember if I only talked about it in that vlog, which maybe, but I'll give you a little rundown, which is that Caleb and I, but mainly Caleb, we've been wanting to build a glass greenhouse on our property in our yard for pretty much the whole time that we've lived here. I think I've mentioned this before at some point, but who knows when. And Caleb cut the lumber. He, like with the help of one of our friends, he dug the holes for like the footings or whatever that's called. Maybe that's not what that's called, but like where you put the posts in, because it's like a pole barn essentially, but a greenhouse. And he did all of those things. Like he dug the holes, he got the lumber, all that stuff. Like, man, I don't know, a few years ago. And we just haven't really had time to do it. And then this spring, he was just like, I'm ready. This spring is the spring that I'm doing this. And so, yeah, if you hear any weird noises, he's outside right now doing that. But like, if this is the house, I'm here and he's over here. So hopefully you will not hear him. But I just thought I would tell you guys a little bit about that because it is so exciting. I've wanted this for so long. And he's so close to being done. So we went and bought, this is partially in the vlog, you'll see a little bit of this, but we went and bought they're made of plastic, but they're transparent roofing panels, and they are double wall insulated. So we went and we got those last week. And then we put some of them up. Well, I say we. Caleb did all of this by himself. I was there for moral support, but he did it on his own. But he put up the roof, part of the roof, yesterday evening. And I think he's putting up some of the roof right now. And he had salvaged these glass panels that I guess they came out of a house. I don't know. They're like these huge, insane glass panels. They're kind of the size of a sliding glass door. Each panel is almost, I think they're a little narrower, but there's so many. Like there's enough to make this whole greenhouse. And it's crazy to think of what the house they came out of must have been like, because he got them from, he knew someone. He used to work construction. He knew someone that did this job that took all these windows out, and they asked if he wanted them, and he said yes. And he's had them for years and years. But it's almost done. So I just can't wait to get in there and do, like, in my opinion, the fun stuff. So I really want to paint, but the wood is all unpainted. So I want to prime and paint it so that it stays nice, and then, maybe paint it a fun color. And then I want to get, like, he's doing raised beds in there. So it's like a rectangle. And then there's a U-shaped raised bed. And then there's going to be a section where we can have pots. And I would really like to get a little table and some chairs. And I would like to make a fountain. I don't really know how to do that. Maybe it could be like a little pond. I don't know. Like, I've seen you can make a little pond in a barrel and have some little fish in it. I think that would be so beautiful. And then we're going to put pea gravel on the ground in the parts where there's not garden beds. But yeah, it's like a dream come true. It doesn't even feel real. He finished putting the glass wall parts up just before this. And I went out there, like I brought Feeny out to check it out and for me to check it out. And then we went for a walk, but it looks beautiful. I will go after I finish filming. I'll take the camera, unless it starts raining again. It's supposed to rain, but I will take the camera out and show you guys what it's looking like. You don't want to talk about your project? No. Look at that storm. I know. It's so scary. Caleb, it looks so good. Over here, I want to have a little fountain and maybe a table. And I think it will just be so cute. And the roof is on. He's hiding. It's funny because we just have so many projects. I have been wanting to get out to the cabin and start doing cabin projects because I haven't been out there pretty much. I've gone, you know, a couple times since it's been spring to just hang out, but we haven't done any work out there because it's been too cold. I've been kind of doing more stuff around the house, which is nice. I am really I said, and I don't know, I mentioned it sometime, I think, but really looking forward to painting this year, to hopefully finish painting our house, to finish painting or start painting our old chicken coop, which is now going to be Feeny's little house. Yesterday we were outside and I brought her out there and I put her in her new little pen. I didn't go very far from her, but she could still see me. But I put her in there for a little while and she went in the little house. And it's just the cutest thing because I can tell that I think she's going to love having her own little outside, like inside out, like outside inside house. It's the perfect, cutest little shed for her, and I can't wait to fix it all up and make it super cute. There's just been a lot of sort of spring activities going on around here, and I wonder what you guys have been up to. Are you gardening? I have started weeding my gardens. I'm looking at some of them now. I have been doing some little interior projects, kind of sprucing up our kitchen. I'm trying to think. Yeah, it definitely feels like spring is here. I've been doing a lot of like just tidying up, cleaning, trying to get ready for when things get really crazy around here. And we went to our first farmer's market this weekend. Caleb's mom has gone since the beginning of April, but it was the first time Caleb and I went. So that was another kind of change of the schedule, and you realize how even just attending one day of a market, it changes your schedule completely and also is so exhausting. I was completely worn out on Monday. I had anticipated getting this video done a lot sooner than I am, but isn't that always just the case? I also just wanted to thank you guys for your sweet comments on my last video. I'm still seeing like decreased activity on my content, but yeah, hearing from you guys it just made me feel a lot better. So, because it made me kind of remember that it's not about the numbers. I mean, it is to some extent, but it made me just remember that the most important thing is the interactions, and some of you have just been there for the whole journey with me, and it just means so much to me. On that note, this is your little reminder. If you are able to give this and you're enjoying this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps. All the thumbs ups help it to tell the algorithm to show it to more people. And if you, maybe this is your first time here and you are not subscribed yet, consider subscribing. I put out content, like I put out a video. I try for every Friday, but the truth is it's often more like every other Friday or 3 out of 4 Fridays, that kind of thing. Maybe you've been here a few times before and you're just unsure if you want to subscribe. Maybe think about it, because I won't spam you. Like, you won't see my videos constantly. I don't post that often, but maybe you don't want to miss out when I do post one. And if you really, really don't want to miss out, you can turn on all notifications for my channel, and then you will never miss an upload, because I know that sometimes YouTube does not tell you. And I noticed, maybe other people have noticed this too, and I was wondering if this could be part of what is affecting my statistics. Because like I said, I've noticed that all of the interactions on my last maybe 3 or 4 videos are significantly down. And either I did something to upset the YouTube algorithm, or there's something else going on. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I wondered if it was maybe my inconsistent posting. It was just like a drastic drop. And something I noticed, I don't know if anyone else has noticed this, but on the computer, they changed like how your subscription feed looks. And now at the top, it has like suggested videos, and then it's really hard to find individual creators in your like subscriptions feed. And so I was wondering, I didn't know if that was like beta testing that I was just seeing, or if everybody's seeing that, but I don't particularly like it. I feel like I'm struggling to find content from my favorite creators, and I wondered if maybe everybody is in the same boat. I think I should probably go, because I feel like this video is getting a little bit long. But I did want to hang out with you guys, and I wanted to make sure you knew about the knit along, and there will be videos leading up to when we cast on. So keep your ears and eyes out for that. I'm hoping next week I'm working on this vlog / Caprine craft, and hopefully I can make some progress on that and have it ready for you. My dad is coming to visit us this weekend, so that maybe I won't get as much done as I think I will, but we'll see. And then, yeah, the week after that will be right before our cast on. So I'll make sure that any information is about cast on party time is posted there. And I think I'm trying to decide, but last time, you guys can also comment and let me know what you think. Currently, I only have the free version of Zoom, which only allows us to have a 45-minute meeting. Do you think that's enough? Or should I pay, because it'll only be for a little while and it's not very expensive. Should I pay so that we can have longer meetings? And then we could go for like an hour or an hour and a half. I don't see myself wanting to go for longer than that. But 45 minutes is kind of short, especially if everybody wants a chance to talk, depending on how many people come. So yeah, let me know your opinions on that and what you think. I also obviously can always go live for whatever amount of time, but then you guys can only talk to me and each other in the chat. You can't see each other. So I would love to hear any feedback and thoughts about what your preference would be on that. Would you prefer to be on Zoom? Would you like to be able to be on there longer? Yeah, just let me know. Or would you rather just have a live stream and then I can just talk and cast on and stuff, and you guys can chat to each other in the chat? Check out my Patreon, sign up for free. I'll be making sure to post over there all like little knit along updates. I'll post, I'm sure, on Instagram as well, but I just think that's the best central hub. And other than that, if you're looking for me other places, I do have Instagram. I'm on Goodreads. I have Ravelry. If you're ever looking for more details on what projects I'm working on, you can go to my Ravelry, and I do try. I'm much more organized there than here. So if I don't remember the color names or numbers of things, it will all be on my Ravelry project page. And I'm just so excited that you guys know about Forest Keys now, that that's going to be our knit along project. I think that's it for real this time. And thank you so much for being here. Thank you for creating a beautiful community with me. And we're going to talk really soon. Okay? Bye.